Hey everybody, welcome back to the letter V 6 times. And if you remember the last time we rescued our second to last crew member. Earlier on in the Let's Play I mentioned that you can take these levels in any order. That's not true for the intermissions, and we have an intermission coming up. At this point the game knows that you've rescued a lot of crew members, and this is about when it takes the gloves off. Let's take a look. You know, since I know what's coming up, I would not have that smile on my face if I were him. Then again, he only has 2 facial expressions. So, whichever. So, what is Intermission 2? Well, that's all that really needs to be said. This is the Gravitron. Why don't you just take a look? Alright. I want to point out you don't obviously have to do the whole 60 seconds in a row. You can do it in 5-second increments, and as long as you make it under the 5-second checkpoint, you're good to keep going. So, it's really a place where no death runs go to die, ironically enough, but it is not something where eventually you won't make it through. And I want to show something here. The game actually does take pity on you a little bit, despite the fact that this is, I think, the first randomized segment of the game. As you, well, rack up deaths, unfortunately, the spacing between these obstacles gets a little bit bigger with each successive death. So eventually you'll have an easier time making it through if you sacrifice a lot of lives. That can make some mechanics more difficult to do if you're trying to do a dodge like that across the screen. The spacing being wider is actually not friendly. And oh my god! They keep throwing more and more at you, which is a microcosm of the whole game. I actually really like that. But this area is pretty well randomized. Sometimes they'll throw some blocks that are coming at you from both sides. Sometimes it'll be a string of just 2 blocks going in the same direction. And it's mean. You actually can practice and get used to the different phases. Like this one, this is a 10-second phase that has this pattern, and it'll be randomized within that, but it's the same idea for those 10 seconds. So you can practice some, knowing vaguely what's coming, and sometimes it's better to stay still, kind of in a smaller area of the screen, and sometimes, I think in this phase, it's a little bit better to attack it at an angle like that. Of course, it depends on exactly what you're seeing, but sometimes it's better not to stay in one place, and that varies from challenge to challenge, so you really have to read what's coming. I hate this. This is awful. Just in such a contrast from the puzzle that we went from before. The green level is so much planning in advance, you get to think about it, and this is read and react. But you will get through, you know, even on a bad run, and this is a particularly bad run. You're going to get a chance to get through. You'll make it to 0 seconds. And that's it. Let's slam this checkpoint. Me too. You know what's good? The intermissions, you can't get back to them in a regular playthrough. Once you've played through them once, you're going straight through to the end. You can access them in a menu. But we never have to deal with this again. Let's get Verdigris and ourselves out. Good, we're back on the ship. Thank goodness. Can I save? I know it already saved, but I kind of feel like I should do it again. But that's wrapped up. We've got one more crew member left to rescue, and it is Officer Vermilion, and you can see where his entrance is. And if you look at the shape of the map that we haven't revealed, you might get a hint for what is coming up in the next episode. I'll catch you then, but for right now, there is one last thing that I need to take care of.